Well, it's finally the episode we've all been waiting for, the episode most of us have been dreading, and that is Daredevil showing up in a TV show that can only be described as absolute dog shit. That's really, so having Daredevil in it doesn't make up for that fact. It really doesn't, even though in this episode there are moments that make She-Hulk look like an absolute asshole compared to Daredevil. That doesn't really matter, because by the end of the episode, it all goes wrong. It all goes wrong with, you know, what you would expect out of Daredevil. Doesn't seem likely this situation would happen. Doesn't seem likely to me. But of course, the usual twist to most of these episodes is She-Hulk, Jennifer, is a whore. That's not a surprise at this point. It really isn't. I imagine most people by now have either seen the episode or seen the images going about online, what we eventually come to. So, you know, whether Daredevil is shown, at least not in a shit way in this episode, by the end, it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't yet. You know why? That's really all I can say about this. Why would he be interested in certain things? Don't know. I really don't know. But should we just get into the episode anyway? Because I'm already late as it is. I don't want to spend that much time on this dog shit. I really don't. So let us just dive into it. So we start off with these guys, I guess, stealing TVs. And then we get this incompetent, weirdo guy that is just, you know, a clown person. Really, that's all it is. Calls himself Guard Frog / Leapfrog or something like that. He looks like a right twat. Acts like a twat. And then he fires himself off with his rocket boots, if we can just see this. If we can see it, where is it? But he's very strange. I don't know. It's pretty safe to say it's probably another, you know, I ain't heard of this character before, but it's probably another character that has been, you know, just made look like an asshole. So I don't know, why can't I find it? So I guess it must come in. He's telling the story to She-Hulk. So then he uses his boots and sets himself on fire. Just a clown person. Just clown person, really. Not a threat to anyone. A lot of the stuff revolving this guy is very surprising. Why this guy would have such an operation that we're eventually going to get to. But as I say, just a clown person. So he's in there telling She-Hulk that his boots went all wrong. They weren't meant to go on fire. So he wants compensation for this. So She-Hulk's like, you know, she doesn't want to do any digging into it, finding out about everything. You would think as a lawyer, you would want to know the ins and outs of every little detail. But she doesn't ask. And when we eventually get to the court scene, makes her look like a right twat again, because she's not a good lawyer. She is shite. Yet, in this episode, she also gets a Female Lawyer of the Year award. That is just laughable. First of all, how long had she even been at this company? Not very long. So why she's Lawyer of the Year? Yeah, no. No, she's not a good lawyer. That has been apparent in this show. So again, she's going on, because apparently this Leapfrog got his costume and all that sort of stuff from the guy we've seen, I forget his name, what is it? Luke Jacobson, the guy that makes superhero suits. So that is the guy that he got it from. So she's saying, well, this is a conflict of interest, all that sort of jazz. Even though, not really, you just bought some clothes off him. But the weird thing I find in this scene is that the guy you see there. So first of all, She-Hulk wants Pug to do it. Why the guy's named Pug, don't know. Guess he's a man. So that's probably why they've named him after a dog. Dunno. So apparently this, because I don't know, the family, the frog weirdo they're the, what are they called? The Petilios. So apparently that's one of their biggest clients. We don't really know why. I guess the family's rich or something. You know, who knows? So then he goes on to say they're willing to sign a conflict of interest, like the Petilios. Yet the conflict. Why would they need to sign a? Why would they need to sign a conflict waiver? They don't have a conflict between She-Hulk. She-Hulk's conflict is with the guy that makes clothes, not the Petilio family. So I don't know why it's phrased like that. I don't know why it's like no, it's got nothing to do with them though. The conflict is with She-Hulk and the bloody gay guy, quite clearly, that makes superhero costumes. So that's very strange. I think you fucked that up a bit. But again, She-Hulk's like, I don't want to do my job because nice clothes. Great lawyer. Remember, Female Lawyer of the Year award. So she goes to try and convince Luke Jacobson, that's his name. She goes to try and convince him, doesn't do a very good job again. It's a similar thing to what we're dealing with Galadriel in the Rings of Power, is that she doesn't know how to convince anyone of anything. She makes the guy basically tell her to fuck off, because, I mean, most of us would, wouldn't we? But she comes in saying, so this doesn't go to court, will you just pay certain damages? He's like, all my suits would never go, what's the word he uses? Would never malfunction. But again, she's done no digging on the entire situation, so she doesn't know if some things went wrong, if maybe when he made this suit for the person, maybe they did stuff against the instructions they were done. She didn't think to maybe dig into it a little bit. Find out. She has a lawyer, after all. She wants to win her case, doesn't she? She doesn't want to be made a fool in court, especially when the boy you're representing, their family they're big clients. So you maybe want to do your due diligence, but no. She-Hulk doesn't do that because she's a shit lawyer. She's just an absolutely shit lawyer. Nothing else to say about it. So that guy shits on her again. Then because he's making her dress for the gala, so he rips that and says, "Fuck off, you backstabbed me." So then she goes all mental at the guy, says, "I'll see you in court." So now we're in court. This clown person sticking his feet up on the table. This guy's waiting for his lawyer to come in. And of course, that is Matt Murdock. Yay! I so wanted to see him in this show. It's so good. Such a good show. I mean, this just makes sense to put, a character like this in a show of poor quality like this. That just makes sense. That is your grandmaster, Kevin Feige. That was his idea. He thought, yeah, that would be a good idea. We ain't got many characters left that haven't been ruined, so maybe we'll put one that hasn't been ruined yet into a show like this. Makes sense, guys, doesn't it? Makes perfect sense. The main question I had here is, surely, I'm pretty sure, I did Google it, but if you pass the bar in one state, that doesn't necessarily mean you can do it here, but whatever, I guess. Let's see if I'm missing anything. That is pretty much that. She says, "Who's this asshole?" And I thought, go fuck yourself, you whore. I didn't write the show. They wrote the show like that. So I'm well within my rights to call her that. So he comes in and absolutely demolishes her, makes her look incompetent like we all knew she was. Makes her look terrible. Not a good look. So what she wants to do She wants to like find out about all his clients, all this guy's clients, which of course they're superheroes. The privacy that they have, as Daredevil rightfully points out, is that they have secret identities to protect the ones they love, all that sort of stuff. She doesn't give a shit about that though. Never thought about it. Never thought about, oh, I'm gonna completely fuck over other superheroes. Didn't think about that. She thought about herself because, as we know, everybody knows who she is, so it doesn't matter about anybody else. She's fine. She don't have to deal with that. And then, of course, we find out after years about... You remember those Sokovia Accords that Marvel completely forgot about? Well, it turns out they were repealed. So just like that, all right, let's sweep that under the rug now. Don't have to go into it much further. Why was it repealed? This, that, and the other. No, it's just, oh, it's been repealed. Right. So, yeah, they've just pretty much stepped over that, swept it under. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want you to remember that we forgot all the fuck about it. No. They thought we'd mention it in She-Hulk. So everybody that isn't watching She-Hulk doesn't know that. And that's most people, because no one's watching this fucking show. So he's basically says, like, yeah, he gets Daredevil gets the judge to throw out this, her wanting to invade people's privacy, because she doesn't see it as important when superheroes with secret identities have secret identities to protect the ones they love. Doesn't care about that. Doesn't care about that at all. So that's that scene. Then it turns out Daredevil has a little sniff and figures and asks, what kind of fuel did you use in your boots? It turns out he used jet fuel. So Jacobson, he says, well, my instructions said not to use fucking jet fuel. So because She-Hulk didn't fucking look into this, looks like a wanker. She looks like a fucking wanker. She is a shit lawyer. There is no way around that. Just makes her look like an idiot. Why, when you're a lawyer, this guy here is one of your biggest clients. Surely your boss is going to be pretty angry that you completely fucked up your court case. Because you didn't think, maybe before we take this to court, we'll figure out everything. Maybe I'll go to Jacobson and ask, so when you gave him these boots, what were the instructions you gave him? This, that, and the other. Then this wouldn't have went to court then, would it? Because you go, oh, right, there's no way of winning this then. So there's not really much I can do. But she didn't dig into it because she's a fucking terrible lawyer. Absolutely useless. So you have Daredevil in it. You make your character look shit. You make She-Hulk look shit. She already looked shit on her own, let's be honest. So that's the end of that. The whole case gets thrown out. So then she gets justice served to her because she starts going, oh, can I still get my suits? Can I? And he says, go fuck yourself. You're not getting suits because I now hate you. He's now joined the club. So now we're at the bar where Matt Murdock sends her over a drink. Why you would want to even talk to this horrible bitch? Don't know. But already, it doesn't take her long, maybe 30 seconds till she wants to fuck him. Because that's what she's been up to this entire series. Is just whoring around all the time. All the time. Generally, it's for a bag of chips. But this time, nah, she's just for nothing. But, you know, it's empowering, guys. It's empowering to be a whore. So this was like part of this was just the stuff we'd seen in the trailer, where he says about, where he says, well, where the law fails, She-Hulk can jump in, but again, she's never thought about helping anybody. We haven't seen her help anybody really. First episode we seen her help people, but that, you know, first of all, she didn't want to do it because she liked her shoes. Liked her shoes, so she thought, nah, fuck that, I don't want to do that. So she had to be talked into that. So why she would even think about, I want to help people now? Nah. Don't think so. So then he says, right, I'm going. She's still like, yeah, but I want to fuck you first. So he goes away, and then she starts getting texts from Todd, you know, the guy that's supposed to be the social commentary on incel culture. So he wants to meet her. She's like, fuck that. So he says, I gotta go. And then she goes, yeah, I got work too. So she goes and meets this guy. He starts talking a bunch of cringe shit. He wants something done because he bought an authentic Wakandan war spear. Apparently they want it back because colonizers stole it, whatever. What else does he mention? Not much. He has a picture of himself with the spear. Then he says, Wakanda forever. It's really cringe. What else do we have? Yeah, he says he studied abroad in Wakanda, which I don't really buy. No, don't think so. They only let themselves be known to the world in 2016, was it? And you studied there doing what? They have universities that you study that are the same as. Who knows? But then he tries to come on to her, which is wrong, even though she's trying to fuck everybody she meets. That's fine, though, isn't it? So she gets up and pushes wine into him and pisses off. Remember, that's another big client for a company. No repercussions for that, though, no. You know, there's a way to do things, but no. So then that leapfrog fucking clown person weirdo, whatever he is, he calls Jennifer up saying that there's someone after him. They're coming for him. He says, I'm on my way to the lily pad. That's his secret lair. You know, apparently he's got a secret lair, even though he's not really a superhero. He's just a fucking fool. So Daredevil's on his roof. She finally whips out the She-Hulk super suit. It's a great payoff, you know? Really good payoff that randomly, I'm going to chuck this on. I didn't want to use it fucking earlier. What do they have? Like 2 or 3 episodes till we've actually had a look at the suit. It's pretty shit. So the car's going around here. Then Fiona Shrek, whatever. She stands there, and then Daredevil goes flying, but lands fine. So the suit, as you can tell, you know, it's shit. I don't know why it's yellow and stuff like that. It doesn't look good. Make sure you fucking change it. Don't stick with that, because it's a terrible fucking suit. So, and this is the reveal of her outfit. That's shit as well. So then they have a fight. Then again, because She-Hulk is shit at everything she does, she doesn't consider anything beyond herself. Doesn't consider anything that maybe I shouldn't do certain things. There may be people about property damage, this, that, and the other. Doesn't think about that whatsoever, because she isn't a superhero. Shit at that. Doesn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it before. Now she does. Okay. But that's her suit. So she does this, you know, didn't think about, maybe there's people under there. Just crushed them. Just crushed them to death. I'm now a murderer. Didn't think about that, no. So then we get the line, my ass is unwhooped. So then he jumps down here. You know, pretty cool, fine. Just be better if it was a good bloody suit, but it isn't. So then she tries to attack him, doesn't work first of all. Then she picks up someone's car, which is now property damage. She's already damaged the car park. But now she's going to damage someone's car. She's going to throw a car at a guy that clearly doesn't have superpowers. She's going to go, I'm going to throw this car at him and possibly murder him. Fucking idiot. Doesn't think about anything. Really doesn't. So luckily he doesn't. Then she gets him with the Hulk slap, whatever you call it, clap. So she grabs him, pulls his helmet off that is clearly plastic, and then says to him, Matt. Then she says, wait, do you pretend to be blind? Because that is really problematic. It's such a cool character, She-Hulk, isn't you? You use the word problematic. But he's clearly not faking it. So he explains to her things about himself. She says, where you from? Hell's Kitchen, all that sort of stuff. And then he says, oh, you never heard of me. I'm Daredevil. And she's like, no. And then he says, I'm Daredevil. Hasn't got a clue. Points out how his suit's shit as well, because it is shit. Get rid of the yellow. So then they start leaving, and then she says, I better leave a note. Because I've just destroyed a car park, someone's car, possibly killed some people. Just leave a note, that would do, wouldn't it? So then we finally get to this layer. And this is his layer. This is the leapfrog clown person's layer. That says lily pad on it. For some reason, he's got this big operation going on. He's got fucking goons and stuff. It's like, what is going on? I find it funny he's got all this, yet he's shit at what he does. But, you know, I'm assuming he's a villain anyway, because he's kidnapped Jacobson. So that is why Daredevil's after him. So then we have Daredevil and that. I don't know, they have an argument about what goons are and what henchmen are, whatever. What else have we got on the old notes? We've went over the property damage and possible murder of people. It really is. No, I didn't have to write anything down from this. Daredevil takes the lead, says there's 25 goons in there. I'll take them down. I'll take them all down. You wait here. She says, how do you know how many people are there? He says, I can hear their heartbeats. Then he listens to her heartbeat, and she wants to get pummeled again. What a surprise. That's pretty much her character, isn't it? She just wants to get rogered behind the bike sheds. So he says, I'll sneak in, you wait here, because he says, this isn't your thing. You don't know what you're doing. You never wanted to do this before. So he takes charge. He says, stay here. But she can't do that. We can't let him do his own thing. She eventually shows up. She's cringe again. She starts saying, you do your thing, and I'll do my thing. Starts dancing like a fucking leprechaun. So he jumps down there, starts taking guys out. Fine. It's just, it's always funny that, people are going to be more interested in this than fucking She-Hulk. So we get a little fight between him. Then more guys show up. We could have had a cool hallway fight scene, but no. Of course not. She-Hulk jumps down and ruins the whole thing. Of course she does. Very anticlimactic. So she's let everyone know that they're here now, and then they start fighting. So that's what they have. A bit of a scrap. A guy hits her with a bat, which of course it's not going to do anything. Come on. Don't know why no one realises that yet. So that's pretty much that. So Daredevil's sitting up here. She's like, what, aren't you going to give a statement to the cops? It's like, well, he's fucking Daredevil, for fuck's sake. I don't think he's going to give statements to cops, darling. You're not brightest of the bunch, are you? So he says, maybe next time when I visit, I'll take you to dinner. I'm just like, why? What is it about her you'd want to have dinner with her? She's an asshole. She's cringe. So she says, rather than that, why don't you fuck me? Again, that's all she wants out of life, isn't it? Just to be banged. So we finally get this stuff. So, remember what I said at the start. Daredevil makes her look like a fool, but it gets worse. Gets a little worse. Don't know why he'd want to have sex with her. I don't know why. Why? He wouldn't. So, and then we get this scene where Daredevil, Daredevil, you know the character that everybody loves. He's doing the walk of shame. If you're trying to make the argument, well, it's comic, it's not funny. I don't see this. It's not funny. That's been proven throughout this show that nothing is funny in this show because the writers are not comedians. They like to think they are, but they just cringe. So, yeah, She-Hulk's whoring herself out again. And then Daredevil's the one doing the walk of shame. He hasn't got his boots on and all that. Why is this? It just kind of taints the character, really. Taints the character, because when we eventually get to... Well, he's going to be in that Death Bitches fucking show, which it's going to be shit, isn't it? Who cares about Echo? Nobody! That's the reason why Daredevil and Kingpin are in it. And then he has his 18-episode season, and we're all going to remember when that whore... we're trying to get as many whores in there as we possibly can. She had her way with him, even though it doesn't really make sense why he would. So she's all happy. She's had a bit of cock. She didn't have to do it for chips this time. I just find it funny that, the one guy that actually wants to do anything with you is Daredevil. Nah, don't believe it. So then she said, it doesn't feel like this episode should be over. It should have been over in episode 1. About 30 seconds in. That's when it should have been over. But no, we've had to have been tortured. So then we have it pointed out, oh, there was a devil walking on the grass. Did you bang him? She's like, of course you did. Of course you did. You're a whore, Jen. So she's all happy about that. She said, then she breaks the fourth wall. Again, stop breaking the fourth wall. It's not good. It's not good. It's just very strange. But she says, this episode already came to a very satisfying conclusion. But what is this scene? Where are we going now? But yeah, she says, what is the twist going to be? What is the twist? Is it going to be, there's another Hulk, but this one's red? Or I'm getting fridged? Anyone that doesn't know what the term fridged is, basically it's a made-up thing by feminists that is, if you kill a female character to motivate a male character, that's wrong. That's what fridging is, not an actual real thing. It was just something made up by feminists. Just point that out. That's a part of modern storytelling. You're not allowed to do that. We talk about all the rules that they put on themselves, and that's one of them. So while she's mentioned, it would have been good. It'd be pretty good if we get to the next episode and Jennifer dies. Be quite happy about that. I think we all would. And I don't think it's wrong. It's not a first for me to wish death upon a character because she's fucking annoying. I haven't had to do that since the Resident Evil Netflix show. Horrible people make you think horrible things, unfortunately. So she's getting ready for a gala where she's getting Female Lawyer of the Year award, even though I'm shit at my fucking job. But I'm still getting an award because I'm the bestest ever. Don't need to prove myself. Don't need to actually show She-Hulk being a competent lawyer. We can just give her an award. Okay. But let's be honest, she's nothing more than the diversity award, really. Just getting an award because she's She-Hulk. So they go in here, Mum and Dad's there. So they're going to go and get seated. So they're at the Female Lawyer of the Year Awards, where they're giving it to someone that's barely a lawyer. They give it to multiple women. I think from what I've seen, she actually. Why are loads of them getting it? Why would loads of them get the female lawyer? Why? I don't, you know, they're women. That's probably why. So then we get our feminist talk, of course. They've got their whammon lawyers up there. One of them says, where the guy asks, what's it like being a female lawyer? What's it like asking dumb fucking questions that have nothing to do with anything? How about how does it feel being a lawyer or a good lawyer? You know, that doesn't apply to She-Hulk, of course. So that woman there, she says, it's so special and empowering. Then she says, twice the work, half the recognition. You're getting an award for basically being a woman. You know, I'll let her have the award because she's clearly an actual lawyer, whereas She-Hulk, nah, fuck off. You shouldn't get it. But then she gives a speech to her parents. And then this little emoji thing we've been seeing, you know, they've done a little bit at the end of some episodes because they want it to be just individual episodes, yet they want to have the season like it's been telling a story the whole time. It hasn't. It is not deserved. It is not earned. Yet here we are. We got to throw it in again. This is what the show's always been about. We forgot about it, so we brought it up at the end of the series. We brought it up at the end of a series that isn't going to get a second season. That just says, oh, you've wasted your time. But that's what you do when you're not a very good writer. You waste fucking time. So it's intelligentsia. This is the... You remember the site that they've been using to call out toxic fandom? Or whatever it is. Well, basically, the stuff they've been putting in, this is called... they're being defensive. Because they know what they were putting out was going to be shit, they put in defensive writing, which was just, they're wrong. You know, all that... You know, Wong turning up in an episode is Twitter armor for a week. Or in the previous episode, She-Hulk said, why would I care what people say online? You clearly do. The writers care what people think. That's why they brought it up in the show. So they have intelligentsia, which I'm sorry, but I have to agree with them with what they say. Maybe not what their actions may be, but what they say. So, of course, it shows all the dates she's been on. Basically, her being a whore, as we know she is. And they say over the tannoid, whatever it is, She-Hulk does not deserve your attention or praise. That's correct. Doesn't deserve attention because it's fucking terrible. Doesn't deserve praise because it's fucking terrible. So where are they wrong? Don't know. I do not know. And she doesn't deserve the power she stole from Hulk. You know, the power she got from Hulk where blood just fell into her arm. Fucking great storytelling. Really is. And they say, and she's a slut. Again, I don't see anything they've said that I can disagree with. Because she doesn't... like, this show doesn't deserve praise or attention. She's a slut. Doesn't deserve the power. She didn't want to help people with the power she was fucking given. No, she wanted to be a shit lawyer instead. So they pull up, of course, all the... You know, all the stuff we pointed out about the hypocrisy of the writing team. Where it's wrong to objectify women, yet she objectifies Steve Rogers' arsehole. She has his arse on a you know, phone. So it shows images like that. And just her dating profile. And then it shows her being a whore again. Remember the last episode, she banged that guy. And then no one... And then he didn't get back to her. And we seen like he stole her blood or something like that. So it shows that. And then she gets angry. And demolishes this thing. And I couldn't help but remember what was it? The first episode, I believe it was. Remember when she said to Hulk that because she was a woman, she could control her anger infinitely more than him. Well, clearly not, though. You've just demolished the fucking screen in front of your bosses, all that sort of stuff. She's enraged. She is reeing. I thought you could control your anger. doesn't quite make sense now, does it? That line in the first, it doesn't make sense. You know, your feminist speech that everybody was supposed to applaud at. It was all bollocks. So she destroys that. Then she notices that there's some of those intelligentsia guys in the building. She runs out, grabs it, and then just all of a sudden, I don't know who these people are. I guess. I guess they have something to do with intelligentsia. I don't think they don't look like cops or military. So I guess that's what it is. No, it can't be, because it looks like there's a cop here. He's got a gun there. So they turned up pretty quick, didn't they? So I'm not too sure. Is it? Yeah, it is. Where the fuck did they come from? Don't know. Then she looks at the screen, and that's the end of the episode. We made it. We made it past the Daredevil episode, where he did the walk of shame. Of course he did. We had to cuck him. It doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense why he would go near her. I don't see any way how she come out. Yeah, just incompetent loser. That's what we've went over with the character of She-Hulk in this series. You know, what we could have done is had a fun show, but instead we didn't want to give the people that. We had to destroy their souls by sitting through this shite. But there you have it. That's episode 8, and I cannot wait for the last fucking episode. I can't wait till it's all over. It's all said and done, and I never have to watch this show ever again. I never have to watch it again. So that brings us to the end of the review, I guess, because I've been going for long enough. Haven't had my dinner yet. Got another video to do, and it's almost 7 o'clock, so it's a bit of a nightmare. So I'm just going to finish it off there, but yeah, it was pretty shit. Having Daredevil in it didn't help the show. Didn't help Daredevil being in it. Basically, yeah, the only reason he was in there is so Jennifer could shag him, because that's all she wanted. Within 30 seconds of talking to him, she wanted to bang him. But I guess that brings us to the end of the episode.